get Sarah on the line. Sarah, nice to have you back.
Hi, JP. Thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's a few weeks ago that we spoke to you. We, of course, also spoke to Erica Lefson. And it was just after that, or at least I think on the same weekend, that you had the Ackerman. Was it called the Ackerman Championships or the Junior Championships?
Yes, it's called the Acumen Championships. It does form part of our national fixture list and is also a World Amateur Golf ranked event. And interesting enough, it was the 40th year of playing of this event. So we're very thankful that we have been able to return to competitive play. And the playing of ranked events is very important for the players, not only in terms of national rankings, but also World Amateur Golf rankings. And we return to playing these events as of the 1st of October. So there were a few elsewhere in the country, but yes, Western Province hosted the Ackerman Championships.
So let's just re-look the last, call it 7 months, Sarah. We know that the lockdown started and all sport ended, and slowly, a few months later, we managed to see sport returning, and golf being one of the first codes, getting a little bit of activity going, and some of the clubs returning. How's the progress been? I know that you guys have got very, very strict COVID regulations in place.
Yes, the priority was to reopen golf, particularly in terms of the fact that the sector employs almost 40,000 people across the country. So the reopening of golf and the ability of people to return to employment was critical. The second focus obviously was around players being able to play social golf. And we put in place the Golf RSA risk mitigation guidelines, which informed the whole sector of golf, both the professional side of the game as well as the amateur side of the game. And then as we progressed through the various alert levels, we got to a stage where we felt it safe, and we had obviously government permission to then start playing competitive golf, firstly at a union level, and then we took a view in terms of the national level as soon as people could travel between provinces. So it's been a long journey, but it's been a journey that's focused on the safety, the risk mitigation, and all of these ranked events that I referred to, which also was the Western Province Championships and then a national South African Women's Mid-Amateur Championships, all have very, very stringent risk mitigation guidelines and dedicated tournament risk mitigation plans that were put in place.
Would you say it was easier for golf to return, considering that it's an outdoor sport and people are generally walking far away from each other? Certainly, if I'm playing golf, I'll be on the other side of in the rough, as they call it.
Sure, yes, I think that's one advantage, if I could say it that way, in terms of golf, that it naturally lends itself to physical social distancing, and also being an outdoor sport and non-contact sport, critical considerations. But we also needed to ensure that there was appropriate risk mitigation around clubhouses and so forth, and also among staff, obviously within facilities, both within clubhouses but also out on the golf course. So it's an all-embracing risk mitigation guideline, and the clubs have their own risk mitigation plans as well.
Tell us a little about the competitions, the leagues, and so on. I know that you've always had a lot of league activities and development structures activities as well.
Yes, around leagues, unfortunately, just due to the timing in the year, it was not possible for many of the unions to continue with their league seasons, and many of them cancelled those. In terms of the ranked events, there are 5 national ranked events covering various age groups that have been played across the country. And as I mentioned, there was the Ackerman Championships in the Western Cape, together with also the Western Province Championships. And then the South African National Mid-Amateur Women's Championship, which was played at Robertson in mid-November, with very, very stringent risk mitigation guidelines there as well, pre-screening, etc., during the tournament. So it's great to see that return to competitive golf. There have also been a number of junior events, the Bridge Fund Junior Series, which is open to boys and girls. So, in terms of the players keeping their momentum, remaining competitive, it's been very important to be able to deliver and offer these opportunities to golfers, no matter what their golfing ability. And many of these events, particularly in women's golf, cover all handicap ranges. So I'm very pleased to say at the South African Women's Mid-Amateur at Robertson, we had a field that covered 3 divisions as well as a senior division.
How did we do? How did Western Cape do?
Western Cape did very, very well. Vicky Trout was back to defend her title from 2019, and what an exciting final round, sorry. And she lifted the trophy again in 2020. Then in the B division, Heather Kruger from Country Club Johannesburg won that division. In the C division, Marilise Kutsia from Obi, she won the C division, and Sonia Bland won the senior trophy, not only defending it, but winning it for the 3rd time in a row. So that was congratulations to all of them. And fantastic achievements.
Have you got plans yet for 2021 in terms of an activity calendar or provincials or nationals, internationals?
Yes, around the internationals, obviously that's a very fluid situation, and there are some considerations and some very valid challenges there. But around our national fixtures, we'll kick off end of January with the Gauteng North Junior and Mid Amateur. And then excitingly, we move on to the South African Amateur Championships, which for the first time in 2020, we actually combined the men and the women's amateur championships into one event. Still separate trophies, but one event that's played, and we're looking forward to a good, strong field in that. We're not sure about the internationals as to whether they will be able to participate. There usually is a strong field there. But at the same time, the standard of golf amongst both the women and the men is phenomenal. So we look forward to another exciting week. It's 7 days of golf, and everyone can follow it on social media and so forth. Unfortunately, it's still no spectators at this stage, but certainly our social media platforms will give good coverage to it.
Sarah, just from your position as the president of golf, women's golf in South Africa, what sort of words of advice would you pass on to the golfers out there, the public that are watching right now?
I think the most important thing, and these are uncharted times, and I think it's difficult in terms of the circumstances that we all find ourselves in, and very frustrating and so forth. And I would just suggest to everybody and ask everybody, please, to be sensible at this time. We have risk mitigation guidelines, and I'm sorry to talk about it, but to just remind everybody, please, it's for everybody's benefit, it's for everybody's collective benefit. But certainly in terms of 2021, set your goals, put those goals in place. It may just be around trying to reduce your handicap. It may be a case of trying to play more golf. It may be around volunteering and helping in development programs. Local development programs rely on volunteers. So if you've got a passion, please get in touch with your local union. They would be very happy to discuss further with you how you can get involved in growing the game. And certainly from a woman's perspective, some exciting initiatives that we're hoping will materialize in 2021, where we can focus more fully and build on what we have done in terms of growing the women's game.
So that's fantastic. We'll leave it at that. And we hope again to catch up soon.
No, thank you, JP. And thank you for the opportunity to chat to you. Thank you.
There we go, folks. Sarah Braude, women's golf president in South Africa. And always great to see what Sarah is up to, and her team at least, in the Cape Town, Western Cape, and of course in South Africa.